topic. Okay, so see here some of the points I have given very clearly how to record and practice here. See that? Start with a greeting, either good morning or good evening, everyone. Say the topic name, which topic you are talking, and give a clear definition. So what is that topic exactly? And clear definition you give. Use the right words. This is the very important. This all for your interview preparation. If you use the wrong words, that will affect your interview also. So you have to use the right words and focus on the important terminology. So while learning, focus on that. If you are struggling with pronouncing that word, take a Google help or ChatGPT help. Use AI tools. So these are ChatGPT or generative AI tools. Use them. Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini. So all these AI tools you can use to improve your terminologies and very simple words. If you want to ask that, it will give you. Okay, and then speak naturally and confidently. So practice. That is it will come by practice only. So don't worry. First, initially, it will be hiccups will be there, but we can overcome that by practice. So that's why I'm asking. Even in Java, first 1 month is the crucial. First 1 month is very crucial. In Java, first 1 month, if you put a lot of hard work in the entire automation and your career, you will use the same things. Revision is important. Mandatory thing you have to do is a revision. If we are not doing a revision, so we will forget. So we should not do that. You put effort yesterday 1 hour. After 2-3 days, you are not doing a revision on that topic. There might be a chances of forgetting that. So your 1.5 hour or 2 hours effort goes vain, right? So instead of that, 5 minutes, right, for revision, 5 minutes is enough. So you can recollect that, or while sleeping time, before going to the bed, you just recollect that what I read today, what I read yesterday. Just do that process. That process, if you do a learning time, you will be shine in the market. You will be improved, and definitely you will get a job one day. Okay. Practice before recording. Try a few times to get comfortable, and end with a strong closing saying thank you so much. So these are the points. You must follow all these 7 points. So don't record and do the task for my sake. So do for yourself. Okay, this is my best platform where I can express my skill set. That's how you need to do like that. So if you are thinking sir is chasing us, my mentors are chasing, I want to do quickly. So if you do quickly, and you will make mistakes, right? So do a continuous effort. This is very important. Continuous effort, not one day reading, one day taking break. Learning time, there is no breaks. Even in job also, we are learning every day. We are learning, exploring, and implementing them. So exploration, exploratory testing, we call that. You learn, same thing, implement it. That's called exploratory testing. We will do that. Something you want to do on the application, first you will learn it, understand it, then implement it, then test thoroughly. So that's the exploratory testing, we call that. Okay, so learning is common everywhere. So even if you get a job also, you need to learn something new. Half an hour per day. If you're not investing for the learning, you will be in the same place. You won't move, right? So market is changing drastically, rapidly. I don't know how many of you are observing. So people are expecting too much. So we need to reach their expectations, and you have to struggle. So you have to struggle a little bit. So keep attending multiple classes. Okay, I'm not going to stop you. One time only we'll do the payment. And I'm not going to stop you. So you can join multiple classes and just be a spectator. Okay, and listen. So instead of you read, and if you listen, and you will get benefited. So properly, so concentration is very important first. So if you are not putting a concentration, that's going to be a problem. It's a waste of time, right? If you're in the class, you're not concentrating on the topic, what I'm talking, and there is no use joining the class, right? So that's why concentrate. Keep ready with a pen and paper or notepad. You open notepad, and if you some terminologies, you can make a note of them, very high level. So like that, or if you got a doubt, immediately raise a hand. So there is an option, raise a hand option, right, in the Zoom. So you can ask the questions, right? Instead of interrupting, you can ask us, raise a question, raise a hand. That means I can understand you have a question, and I will give a chance for you, right? So this is all manners, and we need to learn these things. So even in the companies, when somebody talking, you cannot interrupt. So you raise a hand, then they will give a chance for you. Okay. So interrupting is another bad thing. If people are talking, you should not interrupt. Once they completed, and if you raise, they will observe you. So that's a very, very good thing. And these are all things. So important. These skills are important. Okay, guys. Yeah. So let's get start. So we need to discuss. So this yesterday we were discussing a feature, epic, user story, task, subtask. This is the hierarchical level. Feature first, then epic. So feature will be converted. Feature is a big requirement, big specification about the application, and that feature will be divided into epics. Epic is another big requirement. So smaller than feature. Okay, smaller. So feature will be subdivided into multiple epics. Epic again subdivided into multiple user stories. So we are making a pieces of requirements. So that is a user story. So user story below a task will be there. So there will be a development task, there will be a testing tasks. Development task, so developing the story, right? Using their own programming language. Testing tasks will be there many. So testing tasks, so development task, developing the application, preparing the unit test case. So that's two tasks, and deploying the code. These are the three tasks will be there for the development team. And the same story as per testing team, the testing tasks are design the test cases, design and review the test cases. Okay, so another task. Second task, execute the test cases. Third one, design the automation test case. Fourth one, execute on test environment, pre-prod environment, production environment. Production is on the deployment day, but so perform the regression testing. Feature testing is different, regression testing is different. Please catch here. Feature testing means particular user story testing. Only that user story related test cases you will test. That is called feature store testing, we call that. And you will do and test in, first you will do in the development environment. Okay, so because the developer deploy the code on the development environment, and you will do the only that user story related test cases only will test there. And if any defects comes, you have to raise a defect. So while execution time, you will get a defects. Maybe so it's not working as per our user story acceptance criteria. Then you will raise a defect. Once you raise a defect, you will assign to the same developer. You know which story is handled by which developer. So in the Jira, it will be clearly mentioned. So the story and assigned to which developer. So then the tasks are assigned to which testing team, right? So testing activities will be done by testing team. So you can perform those tasks. If multiple development team people will be there and multiple QA testers also will be there. So the testing team will do the tasks, and you got a defect, you raise that, you assign to the development, then he will fix that. If he needs more information on that defect, he didn't understand, so he will come back to you. I'm not able to reproduce the scenario. If he understand and he is able to reproduce the same defect, he won't come back. But if he is not able to reproduce the defect and he didn't understand what you have written, that's why the written skills are also very important. But don't worry, nowadays we got AI tools. You can just give the information, it will nicely give a defect. Okay, so you just give the some information. That's a prompting, we call that. Prompting is very important. So what to ask these AI tools? If you ask properly, it will give you the information for you. That's all generating the content for you. That's all generative AI, we call that. So this ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, these are all generative AI tools. Okay, so you can take help from these generative AI tools to generate our content, whatever the content you want, right? So that you can use to raise a defect also. And I'll tell you how to raise a defect and how to know what fields will be there, what fields you need to take care of them. All this we'll discuss. And then so once that execution task is done, that user story related, and you will give a sign up, then you will start automation immediately. So automation you have to start, and you will automate that, and you will run entire suite locally, and then you will run entire suite in Jenkins pipeline. You will push the code in between. Git and GitHub will come. You will push the code. So once you push the code, and that will be picked up by Jenkins build, but you have to trigger manually. So it's not scheduled, right? Scheduled means it will pick up automatically on specified time, but we have to trigger. So we have to trigger per our own branch. There is a branching system also. I'll explain all this in our automation topic, but that's the process I'm telling. You will run on the Jenkins. If Jenkins went fine, then you can raise a PR. So you can ask to review your QA team members, your QA team lead, and some developers also can take a look at your code and they will approve. Then you can merge your automation also. That is the part. Then you have to test same thing in the test environment. You have to perform the regression testing now. What is regression testing? So you tested particular user story, right? But application is a very big and many features will be there, right? And now the developer modified and added a new feature, right? A new requirement added to the application. Is this going to affect in another areas? So that we need to check that. So how can we check that? So to ensure that there are no new defects introduced by this new requirement change, and it is working as per expectation, then that is called regression testing. So regression testing is a common thing you will do in every sprint. So I'm going to explain sprint means what. So we're going to cover that also. So that is what this, so the process, how we are going to do that. And then, so once that is done, there will be a release date. On the release date, the code will move from, say, first code is in the dev. You did all the user story, manual testing, then automation testing, that process is completed. Then code is moved to test environment. So the test environment, you will do thorough regression testing. First you will do user story related, then you will do a regression testing. Regression test means old test cases also you will do, old scenarios also you will test it. So whether old test scenarios are working or not, old user flows are working or not. So that is what you are going to test it. Okay, so that is called regression testing means. So regression testing, again I am repeating, to ensure that there are no new defects introduced by development team because of the new change or modification to the code, and it is working as per expectation. So how it was working previously, now also it should work as per expectation. So that is called regression testing. So regression testing, you have to test old test cases and new test cases, all of them. And then you will do compatibility testing, browser compatibility, OS compatibility, devices testing. So suppose your application supports on the mobile devices. You have to test on the iPhone, you have to test on the Android, you have to test on iPad. All these devices testing also you have to perform. Open your environment URL in the mobile device browsers and see how mainly you will get the layout issues. Please catch this. When you are testing compatibility testing, mainly the alignment buttons won't be fit properly, the text is going beyond the borders. Those kind of alignment issues you will get in the mobile devices and another browsers, right? So don't test in one browser. So check first with your business people. Okay, so what are the browsers we need to cover? So Chrome is the obvious one, Edge is the obvious one, and Safari is another very important for when you are testing on the Mac, and then Firefox. All these browsers you have to test. So that's a manual testing thing is, so it's a painful, tedious task. So painful and tedious.